Oh, here we go. I knew this was coming. Hey, he didn't do nothing. He didn't do nothing to get called Stephen A. Smith. He didn't do nothing. Come on. I like that shirt though. That's kind of nice. That's kind of classy. I feel that. Shout out to all the subscribers and the members here on the channel. Don't forget to like the video. My name is Reese Waters, and I'm troubled. Trump promotes disgraced singer to celebrate his birthday. The playlist for the president's cage fight extravaganza included a song featuring a disgraced singer. Kid Rock? Is it Kid Rock? Vanilla Ice? Lara Trump?
You gotta be special.
Thousands of spectators flocked to the Ellipse in Washington, D.C., where giant screens were set up to broadcast the UFC fights. As the spectators waited for the games, which were delayed an hour due to stormy weather, music from Sean Diddy Combs blasted from the speakers, an eyebrow-raising choice given the rapper's dramatic fall from grace. An eyebrow-raising choice. Is it though? Huh? Is it really? Matter of fact, I'm pretty sure if Robert Kraft had some music, they would have played that too, had a whole little get together like they just had at MSG. That sounds downright appropriate to me. Now, y'all remember what we got into the last time we were here.
Michelle Obama is a...
Shut up. Just shut up.
Worth noting, the class act who slandered Michelle Obama at Trump's White House desecration event with no pushback from Joe Rogan was literally puking on himself at the weigh-in. And if anything is more apt when it comes to the MAGA movement at this point in 2026, it is puking on yourselves.
Brother,
See, we don't have to listen. In fact, we enjoy it when you're upset. That guy is a troll. He showed up at the weigh-in pretending he was drunk and was throwing up applesauce as a fake pretense because he was pretending he was scared. That's called a troll. We get it. Not our fault if you don't.
Well, lost in the midst of all of that shame is, how shall we say, our worldwide leader. Gotta be honest, this UFC event at the White House looks spectacular. This is a big time show. I'm not there, and we all know all the complaints folks had about the renovations at and around the White House, etc. But to be fair, this is some impressive stuff I'm looking at. Props to UFC President Dana White and the show they put on. It's big time, plain and simple.
I really hate that man.
At the same event where all of this went down. At the same event that's being broadcast on a paid streaming app in the people's house. That same event, sponsored by Bud Light, that same event. This is what he had to say. Hey, Trump, you were right. You was right about Stephen A. I ain't gonna lie. Wake him up. Tell him I said he had one good point.
It was, I think, mostly cheers. It was loud and it was very enthusiastic.
Mr. President, ESPN commentator Stephen A. Smith, who was talking about running for president, said he would blame you if the Knicks lost the game. How do you respond to that?
I think he's a nice guy, but you need a certain aptitude to run for president. You need a high IQ. I'm not sure that Stephen has that. I don't think he does, actually.
But as is the case with MAGA, and increasingly the case with Stephen A. Smith, and one of the ways in which we know they belong together, it always gets worse, doesn't it?
I'm not here to denigrate or insult the President of the United States in that regard. He is certainly an upgrade from what we were seeing from Joe Biden in terms of his alertness and what have you. I certainly would say that. I would not accuse him of that, but I'm not going to insult the president. What I would say, however, is that he showed up to a Knicks game and he was caught on camera. It ain't me saying it. You saw it on camera. He was caught napping. okay? And the owner of the New York Knicks, James Dolan, was sitting right next to him, and he didn't look awake either. And so that's it, just pointing it out. It is what it is. But he is the president. He's got a lot on his plate. He certainly gets up early enough in the morning, and he certainly has time to post tweets on his Truth Social platform. He's always in front of the camera. I'm certainly not going to denigrate or insult him in that way by questioning his intellect. I'm in no position to do that. But when he wants to sit up there and question my IQ and talk to me about people that would smoke meat in a debate, well, why don't you do it yourself? Why defer to anybody else? Because I'd be more than happy to sit across from the president and debate some of the decisions that he's made.
The president is certainly an upgrade from what we were seeing from Joe Biden in terms of his alertness and what have you. You mean like this right here? This what you mean by his alertness? Huh? At his own birthday party? This what you mean right here? I've had a new clip of him sleep every single week for the last 2 months. And you get up on CNN after he said you had a low IQ and talk about his alertness? Stephen A. had public beef with LeBron and KD because they didn't rock with him. That man in the White House went on national television and called Stephen A. Smith low IQ. Stephen A. had a soft rebuttal and proceeded to get right back on his knees. What an embarrassment. That's what we've come to expect now, isn't it? Isn't it? Right? We already had that whole conversation about how you treat black women versus how you treat white women. And while we're on the topic, you had the nerve to say all this about an event where they slurred Michelle Obama, somebody else who you got into it with. Did you ever get around to apologizing? Huh? Did you ever get around to apologizing to Jasmine Crockett? Huh? Did you ever get around to apologizing to Kamala Harris? Huh? Interesting. That is interesting. But you did apologize to Jalen Brunson now, didn't you? You did apologize to Jalen Brunson. Okay. Now that tracks. That tracks. Yeah. They gonna drag him. We know they gonna drag him. Oh, here we go. I knew this was coming. Hey, he didn't do nothing. He didn't do nothing to get called Stephen A. Smith. He didn't do nothing. Come on. I like that shirt though. That's kind of nice. That's kind of classy. I feel that.
They're about to drag you. They're about to drag you. In these comments. In these comments. In these comments. Oh, they're about to drag you. Hey, they're about to drag you. In these comments. In these comments. Screenshots say whole thread on fire. You type too quick, now they all inspired. Refresh, reload, naming every line. You hit send once, now you're trending right. They about to drag you. Hey.
Listen up, Jigaboo. State of Mississippi ain't interested in your meteorological assessments.
You tell him the state of Mississippi is only interested in getting this here ditch cleared by sundown.
State of Mississippi wants this here ditch cleared by sundown. You got that, boy.
Let's be honest. Today's economy is as uncertain as it gets. That's why I'm happy to bring today's sponsor, American Financing, who's helping families find a way out of the high interest trap. We're headed into summer, but the economic clouds aren't clearing for most middle class families. Between persistent inflation and the cost of daily life, I'm sure you're feeling the pressure. And you work hard for your home and probably have more equity than you realize, but the summer surge is forcing far too many to rely on credit cards. It's an exhausting cycle, but American Financing understands that 2026 requires a real strategy. That's why they have salary-based mortgage consultants. With mortgage rates in the fives, their customers are saving an average of $800 a month by wiping out high-interest debt. That's money that stays in your pocket to fight back against rising costs. No upfront fees, no pressure. And if you start today, you could delay 2 mortgage payments. Call American Financing today. That's 866-891-7332. That's 866-891-7332 or AmericanFinancing.net/Reese.
Stay in Mississippi, huh? Want this here bitch cleared by sundown. You got that, boy.
Y'all sure y'all didn't want to go with Jangle Leg? Y'all don't want to go with Jangle Leg? Y'all didn't want to go with Can't Get Right? Huh? Can't Get Right is pretty accurate for Stephen A. at this particular point in time. Can't Get Right. I can't tell you how it feels to watch you up here just spouting right-wing talking points. I mean, it's boring at this point, Stephen A.
Sad, isn't it?
This how it feels to watch you regurgitating Fox News' greatest hits.
Of a job, an economy, a community, a family. And for too long,
ensure they never obtain a nuclear weapon. This is stuff for the history books.
Because that helps give our military, our manufacturing, everybody across the country needs a...
They've been ripped off, and what he's saying is we want to have trade with the world, but it has to be a trade in which American businesses and American workers and the products they make and what American farmers grow and produce has a fair shot to be sold around the world. On issue after issue, that's been the case. You talk about foreign aid.
50% of the country's seafood.
Cutting unnecessary red tape that forced providers to close, limited access to care, and made it harder for working families to find the support they needed. We're moving away from one-size-fits-all federal mandates and instead empowering parents to meet their child's unique needs.
They're the farmers of the sea, just like President Trump's behind our farmers and ranchers.
Not every day is a challenge, but it's been driven personally by the president. It's the reason why we're involved in this whole Ukraine-Russia conflict. That's not our war. It's not the president's war. This war started, it never would have happened if you'd been president. But this war is going on, and the president is trying to end it, not because, listen, we got a million things to focus on in the world as a country, but he's the only leader in the world that can help end it. And that's why even as we speak to you now,
getting a free ride on American innovation. Just like in defense, but they've been getting in health defense a free ride. And now President Trump is putting policies in place to force these nations to pay their...
That first Decoration Day knew what we know on this Memorial Day, that these graves are more than names and dates with a dash in between. Each grave marker is a story. The young American on the battlefield away from home, he stayed in contact with loved ones by writing letters. In World War II, they called it victory mail.
they are selling oil in the market at market rates. The money's going to an account in the United States.
That's what it is. It's boring. It's boring, Stephen A. We done seen all this. We done seen all the right wing stuff. And this is the alertness that is better than what we've come to expect. Isn't that right? This is the alertness we've come to. Interesting. That's an improvement over Biden. You don't want to discredit the president, but you certainly did when it was Biden now, didn't you? Yeah, you most certainly did. Speaking of which, you could only hope that Trump would treat you as decently as he did Biden, but nah, it was nasty. Stephen A. Smith is an arrogant fool, a low IQ individual. In other words, he's dumb as a rock and totally unqualified to ever think of running for a high political office or even low political office for that matter. What's that? He'd get annihilated in a debate by the most incompetent of politicians. Joe Biden's now fabled performance would look great by comparison to anything that this loudmouth huckster has to offer, which isn't much. Within a few weeks, they'd laugh him out of politics. Hey, he called you a huckster. He called you huck. He went old school with that one, with huckster. You sure you don't want to hit him with scallywag? He a scallywag. Hey, Trump, hit him with a nincompoop. How about gutter snipe? I like we like, hey, rapscallion. Rapscallion. He's a scoundrel, I tell you. He's a scoundrel. What a ruffian. You know. But what do you come to expect from a charlatan like that? You know, just insolent and churlish.
Your language is offensive.
But the best I can give you, Stephen A., is you certainly weren't alone, now were you? No. And that's why I'm troubled. It wasn't so much you, it was what you represent. Los Angeles Chargers player David Njoku at Trump's White House last night. George Washington would have been gesturing Njoku to his slave quarters at Mount Vernon. Would that be the Browns? He gonna send him back to Cleveland? In the sweep of history, admittedly not all that long, this is likely the most pathetic and most captured generation of black athletes there's ever been. Not you, Crawford. Not you, Crawford. Was it Nebraska? Were you there representing Nebraska? I've been down with you for a minute. You know better. You know better. But I can't save you. You went there, you took the photos, you knew how this was going to go. I can't save you. But there is some teaching tape. There is some teaching tape right here because one thing that you may not know is that the gentleman who slurred Michelle Obama had just knocked out a black heavyweight by the name of Derek Lewis, who goes by the Black Beast. Now, you may not have heard that name Derek Lewis before if you don't follow UFC, but you certainly have not heard that name in the ensuing days because nobody has uttered it or brought him up. But let me tell you, this is somebody that has made a point to ensure you guys understand that he has a red hat on even when it's not visible.
Derek, you were just on the phone with the president.
Yeah, for sure. That's crazy. USA in this hole. Fuck what they talking about.
And has made a point to slurp Trump whenever possible. Decides to sign up and fight at Freedom 250, gets himself knocked out, and then has his opponent stand up there and call the only black first lady a man, while nobody speaks of his existence henceforth. That's how Pick Me ends. Have a good career.
I'm about to end this man's whole career.
Done. But don't worry, Derek Lewis. At the end of the day, you could always follow the lead of Stephen A. Even when it looks bad, you can always dig deeper. Isn't that right?
You mentioned obviously Max is going to get in here, and like I said, I'm in the streets. Max almost seems blacker than you, Stephen A. with what he's coming, with his commentary.
You know, it's too bad there's nobody on First Take with Stephen A. that could set him straight. You know, at a time like this, that would make for good television.
Josh Hogan won the biggest fight of his career at the White House and decided to finish with an interview calling Michelle Obama a man.
Yeah, that's why I said, man.
I mean, bro. Look, you did, and I'm glad. I didn't see it because I didn't have any sound on. But I was, strolling through Twitter, and then I saw that I was like, damn, he said that on thing, and then I got it. It didn't get the response that he hoped that it was going to get. I mean, so so now you take that platform. So I just want to make sure. I want to make sure. There's a certain network that says athletes shouldn't, don't bring sports into politics into sports.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
Yeah.
I think the thing is that she happened to be low-hanging fruit. They know that woman, she's not that, but it's good. Yeah. Just like they know that man was born in America. And the man that pushed that. Now, they hate lies and they hate conspiracy theories, but they pushed one for over a decade. But that was cool.
Yeah.
That was cool. President Obama should have, you know what he should have done? President Obama, when he got into office, he should have filed a defamation and for $100 billion, and then have his Justice Department to pay it off. Y'all know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
If I'm Michelle Obama, that's what I'd have done too. Oh, y'all say I wasn't born here. Y'all say my birth certificate bogus. Okay, here we go right here. Boom. Y'all say I'm a man? Okay, here it is right here. Boom. Now this is gonna cost you $100 billion. All right, Justice Department, pay it on. It's easy, and all you did was perpetuate a racial stereotype that you've been saying for years.
Yeah.
They said the same thing about Venus and Serena. Every time a black woman becomes something, others, some people from that side try to take a shot at them. It's been going on. I mean, when is it going to be enough?
Mm-hmm. Never.
Like the roles were for 400 years, we just want 40.
That ain't gonna happen.
Yeah, just hypothetical. Just wake up one day like, oh, what? You mean to tell me? We get to just do stuff, and oh well, we get 12 people on the jury that look just like us, our same skin complexion. Oh yeah, not guilty. I mean, there are people in there filing their nails, doing everything they want to do, ain't even paying attention. You already know what's going to happen.
You know, that's what we need. I'm feeling you, Shannon Sharp. That's what we need. In fact, that's what we had. That's what we had. Now I'm thinking about how everything went down and the tragedy. She made how much money? Oh. She didn't catch not one pass. She wasn't with you blocking in the gym. You got all this. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? You never know who's an ally these days. You never know who's an ally. Ain't that right, Stephen A?
A lot's been made on this White House trip. What do you make of it? Would you accept a trip to the White House if invited?
Interesting question. Number one, I would not be invited. Number two, no, I would not go.
Just no reason to?
No, I'm not. David Duke invites me over for tacos. I'm not going to David Duke's house. You know what I mean? Like, come on, let's call it like I see it.
Sure.
You know, racist is a racist. I don't care if you're in the White House or you live down the street from me. Like, I'm not hanging out with you.
Okay. I don't watch wrestling like that, but I can get down with that. I swear, you never know who your allies be. We learned that with James Dolan and Greg Popovich. You never know who your allies be these days.
What are your thoughts on the UFC White House just in general? Like, obviously you said that you didn't really want to be on the card anymore, but it's such a spectacle, right?
I don't remember ever saying that.
Okay.
I do want to be on the card.
You do want to be on the card.
I do. And this is what I got to say. First off, I ain't jealous of any of those fighters. I am so happy for those fighters. I don't think you could have got a better main event. I'm happy for every single last fighter on that card. If they need me to fill in, if I'm healthy, hey, I'll do it. For the UFC, I think it's great. It's beyond great. It's literally the perfect scenario. But as far as I'm an economics major. I love studying politics on the political side of things, not the UFC's business. That is, of course, they're going to say yes to it. But what I think personally is that our government is desecrating its role in society by entertaining sports. Our government is to protect and serve the people, and really should be as minimal as possible. And when you're doing all of this stuff, hosting sporting events, it's really outside of what the goal of the government was intended to be, because our tax dollars and resources are funding this operation. And like I said, I'm not criticizing the UFC. I love Dana. I love Hunter. I love Sean, Mick. I love all of them. And it's an amazing thing. It's a once-in-a-lifetime thing. But the government should never be hosting sporting events, because there's more room for corruption, and we already have a corrupted government. And so that's my thoughts on it, is that the government is supposed to protect us, not entertain us.
Man, I wasn't expecting that one. I was not expecting that one. Man, he got to be the official fighter of ex-MAGA. Yeah. They got a whole team now. Yeah, they definitely got a whole team. Now, when it came to bad looks, when it came to shame, there was a lot. There was a lot out there. There was a lot. I mean, you got Trump sleep in public again. You got your entertainment product to entertain one man who sleep at your entertainment product. You have him getting up there and calling Michelle Obama a man. Now we got to talk about y'all wives. You know what I mean? It's a whole lot. It's a whole lot.
So Josh Hokett, the guy who was so hungover he puked on himself during the weigh-in, grabbed the mic, and rather than thanking his team, talking about the sport, if you want to call it that, or uplifting anyone, called Michelle Obama a man. I guess that's what these guys have to do in their mind to remain relevant. When a fighter reaches the peak of his career on a national stage and all he can think to do is insult Michelle Obama, that's not just pathetic. It is the perfect, ugly summary of what this whole spectacle really is. And you know, it's always the 2-inchers who seem to have a weird fascination with what's in other people's pants. So creepy. Well, guess what, genius? You and your fellows were paid in Trump coin, which means it'll soon be worthless. So you better trade them in for some Trump merch at the White House gift shop while you still can. All this made me wonder, what do pit bulls have that are bred for fighting that UFC fighters don't have? Answer, pit bulls have brains. You know, malignant cancer cells must be jealous as hell of Trump's ability to spread his disease so rapidly. Everything he touches, in the words of Rick Wilson, famously, everything Trump touches dies. He isn't able to do one good thing for the sake of humanity. Not one single thing. That spectacle last night, with all of its creeps and level 10 idiots, looked like the deleted scene from Idiocracy. Utterly sickening. What an absolute joke of a country we are. I doubt I'll live to see any redemption of our standing in the world. We've fallen so low. Apart from all that, I'm on a hunt for a full list of all the sponsors from that low-life production last night. I hope you will too, and boycott them.
Oh yeah, that's right. Y'all remember all that smoke that we had for Target for ending their DEI? Well, you know what? They didn't sponsor Freedom 250, Trump's birthday party. They didn't put their name on that though. Huh? This got to be way more than that. That's how I see it. We can have the conversation. That's definitely how I see it. Oh, we got one more sponsor. Happy Pride Month, y'all. Lindsey Graham, do you know what the comments to them tweet gonna look like? We gotta go get a whole day, another day about to drag you? We can remix it on you. We can enter the dragon.
I'm about to let the dragon out. Y'all really gonna make me unleash the dragon. I know you don't really wanna unleash the dragon. Twitter if you hear me say yeah. TikTok if you hear me say yeah. Y'all really gonna make me unleash the dragon. I know you don't really wanna unleash the dragon. Facebook if you hear me say yeah. Everybody if you hear me say yeah. So what's the dragon? What's the dragon? It's when you come and got the whole crowd laughing. You posted a take and the app starts flashing. Now everybody's screenshot capturing. Hands up people, stand up people. They got memes and replies lined up people. We about to let the dragon out. Y'all really gonna make me unleash the dragon. I know you don't really wanna unleash the dragon. Twitter if you hear me say yeah. TikTok if you hear me say yeah. Y'all really gonna make me unleash the dragon. I know you don't really wanna unleash the dragon. Facebook if you hear me say yeah.
Thank you guys so much for watching the video, and I wanted to take this moment to wish you a happy Juneteenth, because the vibe out there is pretty heavy. You remember we went from a couple years ago where every corporation and politician was tripping over themselves to say Black Lives Matter, hand out DEI budget, to now a full-on whiplash. Now we're living in a political climate where diversity It's treated like a curse word. You got states passing laws to ban black history books, rolling back voting rights, and dismantling the most basic diversity programs like it's a crime to hire black and brown people. Oh, they are taking people. They literally are taking people to court for hiring black and brown people. It's a climate that's anti-black, and it's definitely anti-progress. It's loud, it's aggressive, and it's designed to make you feel defeated. It's designed to make you look at a holiday like Juneteenth and think, what are we even celebrating? But see, that's exactly why this Juneteenth just hits a little bit different. Because if you actually know the history of the day, this pushback isn't new. This is just the remix. Juneteenth didn't start in a time of peace and racial harmony. It started in 1865 in Texas, surrounded by hostility, surrounded by people who were furious that freedom was finally being enforced. When those ancestors found out they were free, they didn't wait for permission to celebrate. They knew the climate was dangerous. They knew the people around them were mad, but they gathered anyway, and they bought their own land, created emancipation parks, put on their finest clothes, and claimed their joy in the face of absolute resistance. So when people today tell us to tone it down or try and legislate our history out of existence, they're playing a losing game. Because you can't ban a spirit that survived the Middle Passage, survived the plantation, and survived a 2-year delay on its own emancipation. Joy for us has never been a luxury. Joy is a form of resistance. So this year, celebrating Juneteenth isn't just about having a day off or eating good food. It's a statement. When you fire up that grill, when you blast that music, when you hug your family, you're telling the world, we still here. You can try and defund the programs and rewrite the textbooks, but you cannot delete the culture. So look out for each other. Keep your head high and claim your joy this week. They didn't give it to us, and they damn sure can't take it away. Free-ish since 1865.